Brad with the Bradford King Group. Today I'm breaking down the Big Bear Lake real estate market for November 25, focusing on what's happening in Big Bear Lake proper, how it compares to Bear City and Sugarloaf, and how recent rate cuts are actually affecting buyer behavior, not just the headlines you guys see online. Some say I need to be more energetic and charismatic, but I'm just about the facts, so let's jump in. In Big Bear Lake proper, the median sales price for November 25 came in right around $667,000. With that being in mind, homes sold for an average of 97% of the list price. They're taking about 102 days to sell, so it's up a little bit. The median price per square foot now in November landed just under $400 at $397 a square foot. So while homes are still taking time to sell, pricing has stayed relatively firm. But what does that mean? Like, what does that compare to compared to October? For context, in October 25, median sales price was $695,000. So about $30K more per home. Homes sold at the same 97% list price, but they were taking 111 days to sell. So not much difference. The key difference here is the price per square foot. In October, it was $366 a foot. In November, it jumped to $397. That's a pretty meaningful shift. So you guys are probably asking, why did the price per foot go up in November? Even though the median price ticked down a little bit, the price per square foot did increase, and that's not an accident. I think I have a pretty good reason why. This lines up closely with the recent rate cuts. Here's the important part. The Fed has started cutting rates, but mortgage rates don't move just in that straight line. And then they're still hovering right around that mid 6% range, 6.5, 6.29, depending where you're at for a 30-year fixed. And they are moving, more based on inflation data, market expectations, investor demand, and not just the Fed headlines. That's why you don't always see those instant savings when you hear, oh, the Fed's cutting rates again. Most forecast points to rates gradually trending lower, and that's spiking higher again. When those cuts were announced, we saw buyer confidence improve, and I saw that up here in Big Bear as well. Activity picked up. There were several homes that have been in the market for a while that after these cuts happened actually saw multiple offers. Slight warming of that pushed the price per square foot up a little higher. Now, it is a market in negotiation. Even with that bump in activity, homes are still taking about 100 days to sell on average. That means buyers still have leverage, but good homes are priced correctly can move really quick when buyer confidence improves. There was a house I hit and I told 3 clients, I was like, hey, that's going to go this weekend. You got to see it. No one took me for my word, and they had 3 offers already in escrow. Strategy matters, house to house, area to area. Let's talk value. In Bear City and Sugarloaf, you're definitely going to get more bang for your buck. It's a significant difference. For example, when we were $600 or $700 price, the median price in Bear City and Sugarloaf was only $375,000. Since you have a little lower, home sold closer to list price, about 98%, and they took roughly about 102 days to sell. So it's really identical timing to Big Bear Lake, but the price point is much lower. That's why these areas continue to attract like first-time buyers, first-time investors, someone trying to just dip their toes into STRs and not need a huge return, but it kind of gives them a little easier get in. If you're a buyer in this market where timing and strategy matter, rates aren't perfect, but they are better than they were. This can be a window to buy now, lock something in, and potentially refinance later if rates dip further. You still have room to negotiate, but when a well-priced home hits the market, you need to be ready. Like I try to tell some clients, they missed the boat on this one. If I give you guys some insight, please take it. What this means for sellers, if you're a seller, pricing and presentation still are everything. If your house is priced correctly, you're still getting close to list price. You're not sitting on too long. But when you price based on old expectations or houses are going to sit, the market's going to tell you quickly which category you're in. So let's just listen to that feedback when you're on the market. We'll go from there. If you guys want more MLS accurate numbers for your specific neighborhood or home, or you're trying to decide whether buying or selling makes sense with today's rates, feel free to reach out. I'll run a personalized market snapshot. I'll walk you through the numbers so you can make a smart decision. And as always, if this video helped, make sure to like, subscribe, and check my other videos out for Big Bear Lake insights, videos, market updates. You know it. I'm Brad King with the Bradford King Group. And if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can either email me at team@bradfordkinggroup.com or text us at 909-683-1502. See you guys.